Hello and welcome to the first episode of 2024 of Totally Oblivious. I'm your host, Caleb, the...
Snack Perez.
The snack? I guess if you say so.
You're like trail mix.
I'm like trail mix?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? How am I trail mix?
I don't know. That's what my brain came up with.
And this is my co-host right next to me, Alex, the...
Pollo.
The untamable appetite.
It really is untamable.
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't. There's not much that like you. There's things that you hate to eat, but the things that you don't hate to eat, like
they are consumed.
They will be consumed. There's no stopping you.
Wait till I finally start how. I can't talk today.
Wait till I blumsk.
I wait till I figure out how to eat all fruits, then it's game over for the rest of the world.
You don't know how to eat all fruits?
Not all of them. Like there's just some I just don't enjoy.
I mean, I feel
but I'll fuck up all vegetables.
I feel like most of the major fruits to eat are fairly simple to consume.
No, it's just like I don't have the taste for them yet.
Like
my adult taste buds are slowly kicking in.
I get if you say like, oh, I won't eat star fruit because star fruit's not great.
They're kind of mid. I've had them
but
before.
Like. Well, what kind of fruit are you talking about?
It's just not like they're difficult to eat. There's not like a difficulty level. I just don't have the taste for them yet.
You have a taste.
Recently though, oranges have been.
Oranges always hit.
I know
those big navel oranges. So good.
Oh yeah, I've been fucking them up recently.
A good fresh apple during apple season. The best.
I'll fuck up an apple, but on rare occasion.
Like if you're not getting them in season, they're not going to be as great.
Oh yeah,
fruit tier list in the future
soon. All right, but I do have a topic for today. Unless you did, I
actually don't. I was just going to talk about 2023 in review, but I think I want to hear what you have to say because I feel like that's more entertaining for me. Over
the past, I think 72 hours. That's how long 3 days is, right? In hours, 72.
I think so. Yeah.
Have you seen Insomniac's Wolverine?
I, out of respect for Insomniac, have not looked at that at all.
That has to be one of the... I think it's arguably worse than the GTA 5 leak.
That it is. It's 100%
because,
worse.
Like, there was... I had this thought on the way here. It's equivalent to, like, somebody... grabbing video of me making a thumbnail, but it's the PNG I'm not using, or I'm using, but it's not cut out on a white background. I'm like, how did you even get this?
That's a really good, like half that stuff that they're showing. I don't think we should talk about what they showed.
I don't even think it counts because it all looks like ultra pre-alpha, but I don't think any of it's gonna be in the game, dog.
I didn't understand the gravity of the situation until they started showing, until they leaked the stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is bad.
No, on top of that, it's not even a leak. It was like a cyber attack. People's info got leaked.
That's true.
I'm like, what are you guys doing? It ain't this serious.
And to think they did this for a game company that is just making content for us. They could have done this to the U.S. government or something.
I know.
They could have had the Epstein files already, but they chose not to.
Yeah, it's fucking took in 3 years before we're getting the list.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out.
It's gonna
January.
be censored. Yeah, it's gonna be censored as fuck.
Probably, or they're gonna throw another alien sighting.
Oh,
aliens! Whoa! Because they were supposed to last time.
Look, Caleb, an alien across the screen.
Literally, last time they were gonna show us the Epstein list. They showed aliens instead. That was the big thing in the news. It was like, weren't you guys supposed to show that Epstein list?
Aliens.
Oh, aliens! Aliens are real. The U.S. government confirms. But I was more concerned about the Epstein list.
The aliens can worry later.
That's kind of it doesn't matter here or there if aliens exist. It's kind of important if we know who's on that list.
Yeah.
Because they're criminals.
We'll talk about it. We'll read the list when it comes out.
When the list comes out,
I'll read it.
Totally Oblivious will be the first ones with a target on their heads.
Hey, it's still crazy how I'll go back to the Insomniac thing, but a few years ago when it came to there was a I forgot the document that came out about a whole bunch of people evading taxes, and Akira Toriyama was on that one. I forgot what it is. I can maybe tell Caleb in post and bring it up on screen. But it was crazy finding that. And it's wild that a whole bunch of people are hoping that Oda, the guy that makes One Piece, is on the list.
Why?
I don't know why. And it's just funny that people hate.
It's weird to hope for someone to be on the list. You'd more hope to not see as many people on the list.
Yeah, probably. But like Stephen Hawking was apparently on the list at one point.
Are we talking about the Epstein list? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
on the flight book.
That's weird.
Anyway.
Like, as much as I don't like certain people, I would really hope to not see them on that list to give me some sort of hope that they're good people.
It's just fucking crazy. However, let's go back to Insomniac. But the fact that like, okay, so it came out. I saw a little bit of it. And I can generally mostly say it's like, okay, this is an Insomniac game. They're just reusing assets. This is normal things creators do. I do it with my thumbnails. My editors do it sometimes with some of their edits. It's like this is standard stuff. And I know like some of the story stuff got leaked too. Like people were playing the game, but I don't know what happened.
They were actually playing the game.
Yeah, and they were getting I think they're getting DMCAs through like ISCPs or whatever.
They should.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's fair.
Like, this is terrible.
No, this is worse than the GTA 5 one. Like, the GTA 5 one, I think the reason how that one happened is somebody's kid, if I'm remembering this correctly, like, went on their dad's computer and just leaked it all. This one seems more like a cyber attack. They're like, here's all this shit.
This is terrible. Like,
here's the files.
This actively harms the gaming industry.
Yeah.
It's like, these people are working hard to make games. And you're just like, oh, so here's everything.
Two avenues I want to go for. I'm not gonna. I can talk about it all day, but in respect to Caleb and the people who don't want to know about it that much, it's just basically grids and squares and Wolverine and a whole bunch of shit. I don't even know if it's gonna make it into the final game. However, with some of the like some of the cutscenes and some of the stuff, I won't lie, I am hyped and intrigued. This game does look like it might fuck.
Yeah. So
like I am interested, but it's just like this isn't even like the leak itself isn't good. It's just like so this is the thing I want to stem to. Do you remember back in the day when Pokemon leaks came out?
Oh,
and that shit was raw.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you remember Mew 3? I remember those days when the Koro fucking magazine, like already stuff that was planning to come out got leaked like I think like a week or a month ahead, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is gas. I remember it, bro. I remember being, what was it, 5th or 6th grade? And it's just like, I remember watching a YouTube video and it's just Mew 3, like the in-game cutscene or a screenshot, just there, seeing like Mega Mewtwo Y, and it's just like, didn't know about Mega 3. It's like, what the fuck? Like it genuinely was like, oh yeah, I'm hyped. That's a good leak. But the leak nowadays, it's just like, what are you doing? Why is this here?
Yeah.
What is the point about this? What are you doing here?
It's like,
because this isn't even the final game.
Here's how I always felt about leaks: is it ruins the fun of getting to like experience these surprises in the game, or like even with trailers too. Like watching trailers, it like if you're showing too much, it kind of ruins the project. Yeah. So by showing a leak that's showing things that the developers weren't intending you to see,
and it's not even finished,
you're kind of jeopardizing the hype behind the project, because like there's a reason why they have specific dates that they show stuff, and that's to build up hype for it, so people watch it. Watch like these trailers, like Nintendo Directs have like hype built behind them. So that when you finally watch it, everybody's hyped to see whatever games they've been excited for. Bro. That's why I was so like pumped seeing Thousand Year Door, because I had no idea. I didn't see. I know it like
it probably got leaked on 4chan
somewhat
somewhere.
Leaked, but I don't think people really saw it or took it into account. So nobody talked about it. Yeah. But so being able to see that in the direct with no knowledge of being like, oh, there's new Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, my favorite game ever, getting remade, is like, oh shoot, real? This is the greatest thing to ever happen to me. Which it would take away from that. Like even with the Smash reveals, every time they leaked beforehand, if you saw the leak before they showed off the character, it took away some of the hype when you saw the trailer for the character. Because like seeing Sora getting added, amazing. But if I knew beforehand already, if they were like, Sora's added, he's in the game. If I was just shown that without the trailer, it would completely change the way that I viewed.
I can't remember, but I think I did. I think like a day or two before.
It did leak. Yeah, it did leak, but nobody shared it and nobody took it serious.
Yeah, because it's like really a Disney character.
It's like, there's no way. Because people have been saying that for years.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that makes this leak different than most Nintendo leaks. Is Nintendo leaks, people just make up.
It's the format. I want to talk about it.
That is true. But like with Nintendo leaks, people just are constantly making up fake leaks and like just saying whatever bullcrap they want from Nintendo and then putting that together. But like this is like the actual stuff that Insomniac was not ready to show. Even showing off like their sensitive files, like how much it took to make Spider-Man 2 and the DLC that's coming out in the future. That's like, there's no reason to do that other than you're just a terrible person.
Yeah, and I think it's the format. However, I will say this: the only positive that came out of these leaks was like there was supposed to be like a Spider-Verse game, like make your own Spider-Man. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, thank you for leaking that. I want that.
Bring that back.
Yeah, hold on, bring that back. I want that.
That's like the only good thing to come from leaks is when you hear about projects that they're canceling
and they don't do, and it's like, wait a minute, why not?
And then the community can come out and be like, we actually do want this.
Yeah, Deadpool, the whole Deadpool franchise. Yeah, here's some stuff. We weren't going to do anything with it. We'll leak it. Wait a minute, we want that. Like 3 years later.
We want this.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I think that's what matters. When it comes to like the leaks and stuff, the reason why the Koro shit and like Mew 3 and basically any Pokemon leak before like the recent games came out, the reason why they were so good is because like that was official shit that was just like, we already have it in print. Someone just took a picture of them and like, here you go.
Because I think that there is a huge difference even with Pokemon. Because like the leaks then, it was just like a tiny little thing that they're showing.
It's like a smidgen.
And now when they leak the new Pokemon games before they come out, they just show everything. And it's
the
like,
whole bitch.
That ruins it.
There's almost like this like sense of leaks can add to the hype. But if
you're showing everything,
it's no, bro. It's like, what the fuck?
What's the point? You're ruining it. You're actively ruining the gaming experience.
You're ruining it.
Like
you're ruining
even
it.
Outside of leaking, like the people who get like game reviewers who get the game early and then just post the end of the game online before anybody even has a chance to play it. It's like, why are you doing that? Like day one showing the final boss of the game and the secret cutscene. It's like, dude,
could have at least waited until day 2.
Dude, come on. For the speedrunners. Like. And even they have it in the thumbnail every time. It's like, dude, I wanted to be surprised. I wanted to experience this.
I think the best thing to do is just not be on YouTube when that game.
I've learned that.
Yeah. Just don't be on YouTube.
I 100% avoid social media now when it comes to like something like in the weeks coming up to something that I've been super excited about. Will not look at anything. Like whenever there's like when Spider-Man No Way Home came out, didn't look at anything because I already knew they were leaking everything from that movie. So I was like, I'm not looking into anything else until I watch the movie.
Dragon Ball was crazy too when Gogeta was coming out. The thing is though, I think spoilers and leaks are a very American thing because in Japan they don't give a fuck, not a single fuck. They'll just be like, a day before, like when Luffy's Gear 5 came out, days before, that shit was everywhere. It was it was common knowledge. They knew that week this shit's dropping, and it was on promotional stuff. It was on trains. They didn't give a fuck. Like with us in the West, they'll be like, all right, here's the game. However, we'll give you like a week in advance, so don't spoil it. So it's very weird. I've always seen that, like the difference between like West and East. Even in like Europe, they're kind of like meh about it. Like some people will like it, and other people will be like, here's the everything. I'll just give it to you.
I think with America, it's because we have such like a broad spectrum of like people who view things. Like we have a wide media influence where other countries are more like they just like we're kind of like the cornerstone of like what media is. That's just how it is with America.
The American juggernaut.
That we're anything that happens in the world, you see like America's like the epicenter of like or if something happens outside of America, it's what's America's response. Like it's the strangest thing, but that's just how it is. So like
geopolitics.
when it comes to like media, because a lot of media hype comes from like the surprise behind it or like the community behind it. So like if something leaks in America or is spoiled, you're taking away the experience from others who were wanting to have a similar experience to what you had discovering this.
Yeah, it's and that's the thing too. I think with me, when it comes to leaks, like I do like not to be spoiled. However, I also have this mentality of just being like, all right, then how do we get to the B point there? Because that's what I'm interested in, like the middle. Because like I can be spoiled on I was spoiled with Multiverse of Madness. Like I think almost like a year ahead. Like I knew the story plot. I knew Xavier was in it. I'm like, why the fuck is he there? And then the house got eerily quiet. What the fuck?
Ghosts?
No, it got like dead silent.
That's crazy.
That's weird. Anyway, I knew Charles was going to be in it. I knew Ultron bots were going to be. I kind of knew the Illuminati were there because I think I also saw Reed.
I think I also got that spoiled as well, but I just brushed up. That's what happens with me a lot of the time. If I see like a leak or something that spoils something for me, if I see like the first part of it and it's like this is the real leak, I'm like I'm done. I'm scrubbing that from my brain.
Delete.
Forgetting. I'm trying my best.
If you see it more than for 2 seconds, it's over. If you see it for a second, you can survive.
It's like
Perry.
It's like if a character has a death in a movie, I don't want to know if they die. I genuinely don't, because that takes away the emotional factor of once that death happens. If I know it's coming the whole time, it's not going to be as impactful. Because like, let's say if I watched Forrest Gump for the first time and somebody told me the mom dies, I'm not going to have as much like impact when the mom starts dying from cancer. Like
I fucking forgot she dies of cancer.
If I know she dies, then like somewhere in my brain, it's like you already try not to be attached.
Movie is so fucking bizarre.
Yeah,
it's honestly just like I'm dying of cancer. When the fuck did we get to this point?
Interesting movie about life.
Yeah, but crazy leaks. Leaks are a very like interesting subject because some people like them, some people don't. Depending on the type of leak, or it can just be like, look at this single 360p image. Here you go. I'll be hyped. On the other hand, GTA 5 and Insomniac. What the fuck happened here?
That's bad.
Yes. However, this is the part that was utterly mind-bogglingly like stupid. Like I know you call me dumb all the time, and I know it's in like for funnies, but I genuinely was seeing some people's responses to the Wolverine leak, and I went, there are some people out here running with 2 IQ. Like the genuine 2 IQ.
It's like the people who are saying that the game looked bad, despite the fact that it's not even in pre-alpha.
That always happens because some motherfuckers just don't know how fucking game development works. Some motherfuckers don't know how basic things work in real life, and I'm just I can understand how somebody makes that. However, when I see motherfuckers, I'm being so dead ass. I'm grabbing the mic like this. When I see people go, wow, it's just a copy and paste of Spider-Man, this is going to be bad, or this is a copy and paste of God of War, it's going to be bad, I look you in the face and go, did you play either of those games? And you came out of that bitch saying this was bad.
It's like,
bitch, what?
The crazy turnaround people just magically had saying that Spider-Man 2 was just bad is insane.
It's mostly because of Miles' outfit, but we'll skip that part.
But like the idea that people are upset because it looks like it plays similar to other games is really insane to think about. considering, I'll use this as an example. Capcom uses the Resident Evil engine for all their games now.
Everything.
So if you look at their games, a lot of them are going to look
very similar.
Very similar. So if I were to look at the new Monster Hunter and be like, this looks bad. It looks just like Resident Evil 4. This is going to suck. In what world does that make sense?
I don't know, dude. And I'm going to be genuinely honest. I started scrolling through some of the people that were going, what the fuck? And I had this epiphany.
This looks like something I like. I'm going to hate it.
No. Motherfuckers are just hating to hate now. There's like at first I thought we were joking. I didn't think we were actually doing it. No. Some people genuinely wake up early in the morning, just leak an entire development like cruise shit and just be like, why'd you do it? I just was hating. It's just like, what the fuck? Why? What did the game do to you?
What did these game companies do to you that you had to do that? Like I said, there's terrible people you could do this stuff to, but you chose to do it to an innocent game company.
They were making good games. They had like overall, like they weren't a terror. They were like probably one of the better companies, gaming companies of the past like 10 years. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank.
I think most people would say that Insomniac's a pretty good game developing company. 2 thumbs up.
Like, what the fuck? Now, Rockstar, I can understand, you know, fucking GTA 5 Online was kind of a fucking shit show, and they didn't really do anything with, like, you know, Red Dead Online either.
I think the difference between these two scenarios is the severity of the leak that happened to Insomniac.
Yeah. It's just like, what the I'm like, and like, I saw some people being like, I hope it gets canceled and stuff because, like, of minor things. It's like,
why?
No, I saw people. You know what? This isn't really a fucking spoiler because I was assuming it was going to happen anyways. So like in the game, Wolverine has like ranged attacks. Like he has like throwing knives. I go, okay, that makes sense. Wolverine's like 200 years old. He's a ninja. I would assume he at least carries some type of ranged thing,
or at least
for combat,
just for the game to make it little more
like, you know, gamey,
expansive.
Like, you know, Wolverine's kind of fucking immortal. Stuff. I'm like, okay. And then some people were just like, this is terrible. I hope it gets canceled.
Why? You haven't even played it.
And then I read that comment. So I have 2 thoughts when I read something like that. And there's multiple of these, by the way. I go, either you're fucking trolling or you're being so dead ass that if I were to actually have a conversation with you, I just leave the room. I leave.
Just such a stupid take.
What the fuck? Like, I just can't comprehend that.
It's genuinely surprising to me, like, how terrible of takes people will have when it comes to just anything.
Yeah.
But, like, specifically games, because that's, like,
one of the biggest mediums.
Huge medium. You see a lot of it, and it's like, I'm trying to think of it as, I just saw one. I guess I'll use the Game Awards as an example, that people saw that Spider-Man lost and just immediately just started dogging on it, saying it was a terrible game. And it's like, it's not a terrible game. Or even vice versa. You see Baldur's Gate 3 won everything and people were like, oh, stupid game. It's like, well, it sounds like a lot of people liked it.
Yeah.
So it clearly was not a terrible game.
Baldur's Gate 3 was a weird one. That came out of fucking left field and nobody was ready. They
really did just throw a heater.
Yeah, this is what the fuck. But like, it kind of does suck because like Spider-Man 2, it is so weird with Insomniac Spider-Man. Like, it gets hate for puddles.
Which is crazy.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Why puddles? Why are they mad at the puddles?
Ray tracing. Dude, who gives a fuck?
If you're angry at anything graphical in Spider-Man 2, I think you might be a little insane.
You might be delusional.
Because that game looks amazing.
I remember, this was crazy. I remember some people fucking complaining about how every individual like glass, like, I don't know what the fucking...
The
buildings, you can see through them, right? Why there was not individual, independent, unique things happening in each and every fucking room.
It's like, good lord, do you want the Matrix in here? What do you want?
I don't get it, dude. It's like, what the fuck are you... What are you talking about?
Oh, or the guy who was upset because you couldn't ride the subway in Spider-Man. It's like, you're Spider-Man. Why are you trying to ride the subway?
Yeah.
Like, the things that people complain about in games. And I see this a lot, mostly from like there's like the Nintendo sphere of games where Nintendo fans hate Nintendo, sometimes for obvious reasons, but sometimes for ridiculous reasons. And then like on the other side where you have like Xbox and PlayStation and PC games, it's like these people are going haywire over something that makes no sense to be upset about.
Yeah.
Like you're in your typical playthrough, you're not going to be looking through every window to be like, what's this guy's life like? Like, that's not what the game's about. If the game was about looking into other people's lives, if you want to look in other people's lives for a game, play The Sims.
That too.
You play The Sims. The Sims is literally that. You can do that. There's other games for that. In Spider-Man, it was designed specifically for you to be Spider-Man swinging through the streets and fighting. Like, why are you...
I just remember. I have two. I just remember this. I was reading one of the comments, right? And one of these motherfuckers, like, it was something about like, do you not know Wolverine's history? And they do the whole nerd thing, right?
Actually,
and it's like, yeah, you're a nerd, but it's like, dude, you're fucking playing Wolverine. You'd like to, have some of his comic book history in the thing. You're just fucking being an idiot now.
You'd think you'd want to know a little bit about a character that you're gonna play a game about. You'd think somebody who's playing a Wolverine game would know about Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like
if he was Mexican instead of Canadian, I think we'd have a bit of a problem.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird. That'd be a little strange. Like,
it's weird.
Like I can say it like this too. Like Spider-Man. I can't imagine too many people who don't like Spider-Man were incredibly excited to play Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are you, a person who knows nothing about Wolverine, hyping up a Wolverine game and being mad at Wolverine fans for knowing who the character is?
I just don't fucking get it. And I don't. And then some people were complaining about models. I'm like, dude, you are literally seeing fucking Street Fighter 5 training mode in the background. Because that's the basis for all fucking video game development. And you're complaining about models?
And this is why leaks are part of huge problem too.
When a moron sees something that's unfinished, they're about to say some garbage ass shit, bro. I'm sorry, but the amount of times, like, something, like, a basic detail, it's just not like, super detailed. It's like just little things. And somebody just has this, goes on a rant and starts making like a 15-minute something on YouTube. I just look at that and go, bro, what the fuck are you doing with your time?
What? Get a life.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm sorry, but get a life. Like, honestly.
I know that's coming from the guy who just is at home all day fucking like doing his YouTube thing or just chilling out. But it's like, dude, I'm not fucking hyper fixated on fucking puddles. And, or like, why does this not look weird? Or, okay, so here's a crazy thing. So there was like one like forest level. I don't know what the fuck this game is about. I don't know if Wolverine's open world or linear. That's why I think a lot of people are making the God of War comparison. But like, I'm seeing it, right? And I'm like, okay, Wolverine's climbing on trees, kind of jumping, he's superhuman. He's kind of a feral little guy.
Yeah, that's what he do.
He's climbing trees, and some people would be like, he weighs like 600 pounds. How is he not snapping the twigs? I'm all like, how is Spider-Man swinging around? The velocity itself would kill him. And I'm like, what about, how the fuck is Venom a thing? How can just some random alien species
goo just take over your body?
Or like how
grow tentacles out of it?
Or how he can like, so here's a fucking scientific one, like, can really grind your gears. Venom was able to cover all of New York, spoilers by the way, all of New York with what mass?
With what
mass did he, because to produce something, you need to consume energy to transfer it into another thing. How the fuck did he cover all of New York in tendrils?
Here's one. How does Link carry all of that stuff in his pockets?
How does your Fallout 4 character carry all of his shit?
Are you really going to be mad that are you gonna really be playing Animal Crossing and mad that you can carry an entire sofa in your pocket? Like, do you want to have to hire movers to move your furniture?
Yeah,
like, it's for the fun of the game. It's literally so you have fun. It's a game. It's not. If you want to
Be realistic.
if you want to be realistic, go outside.
And like, there's an excuse like, yeah, Wolverine's a ninja. Maybe he's like, I don't know, doing something to his body.
If you want extreme realism, go outside. Go play a sport. There's basketball leagues in your local town you can join. You can join a paintball league. There's stuff to do outside if you want realism. If you're playing GTA and you're mad that your character can take more than one bullet before going down, it's like, it's a game. You're not meant to just get shot and be like, and then you have to, instead of like, if you get shot in the shoulder, you shouldn't expect the game to take you to a hospital and you spend as many months in the hospital as you need. You like, it's a game. You're meant to have fun.
Yeah. And like, if you do want that realistic setting, either mod your game to where one shot, one kill, or play on the hardest difficulty. I don't know what else to say to you.
Or like I said, if you're that interested in realism in your activities, go outside and experience life.
I saw a video game developer, make a sword character that could parry a nuke. Like, if you, I don't know what you want.
Do people not understand that games are meant to be fun?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. This is a totally different thing. So before this, most of today, so I have a video being worked on by Curious and my brother being home. I couldn't record. I wanted to do this like pretty big review on Georgia Joestar. Work in progress. Work in progress. My Cars video should be out, I think, sometime when this video comes out. Maybe a little bit after, just to hype it up a little bit. But like, I just had to be home, and I'm just on this big Halo fix. I had a Guilty Gear thing for about like three or 4 days, but I'm like, right now, man, I'm just in love with Halo Infinite. I just like Halo. You sent me that meme. It's like, what game shows how much loyalty your boyfriend has or whatever? And it's like, if your boyfriend loves Halo, that motherfucker's sticking with you, and it's correct. And it's like, I'm playing Halo. I'm trying to get better with snipers. Like, I was really good at one point with them, and then lately I've just been ass with it, but I'm just trying to get better at it. I finally spent money on the game because I was like, I have almost 400 hours in this. I deserve at least to like spend a little bit of money on it. I like this game a lot, and it like, I'm enjoying it, and it's just like, I'm watching that, right, or playing the game. On the other side, I have the Unabomber, like a video that Wendigoon does on this guy, and I'm watching this video, right, and I'm all like, it's crazy how some Americans' reactions to some things are. Because like the Unabombers are like, I had one bad day being separated with my mother, and now it's everybody else's problem. And I feel like with America, it's everybody has the mentality. Everybody's like, my dad didn't like me. I'm about to ruin your Wolverine experience.
Everyone else's
I know
issues.
It's a crazy like connection between like the Unabomber and the average American citizen, but that's what it genuinely feels like.
That's how a lot of people's mindsets are. They genuinely have no compassion for others.
Yeah.
Just because they had a hard time. They feel everybody else should suffer because they're not happy, which is just a terrible mindset to have.
And I thank myself for watching this VR video, but like, there's just something about a screen, this camera screen, my phone screen, that screen. Screens in general have this weird, like, it's a screen, it's not a person. So there's this massive disconnect. Because I remember a whole bunch of people on VR chat would be like, man, I have social anxiety up the ass. I can't talk to people. I play VR chat, I can have whole conversations. So I feel like with some people, when they go on Twitter, start and blasting these opinions, they don't see past the screen. It's like,
that's why cyberbullying is a huge problem.
It's like, do you not see the disconnect?
See, that's
what the fuck?
Not to make this Caleb and Alex being boomers again, but it's like, that's the problem with society these days, is people talk to other people online like that and then think they can treat people in real life like that as well. Like, they don't understand that, like, talking to people,
late stage internet use.
If you talk to people without respect, there's going to be issues. You're going to have issues. If, like, I can call Alex an idiot because he's my friend. But, like, if online, like, if I just went up to somebody who's like, are you idiot? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? If I just randomly do that to strangers who I hear
that's tame because there's usually a slur after it.
It's true. So, like, if I'm in a restaurant and I hear somebody say, "Oh, I'm not the biggest fan of blueberry pancakes," I'm like, "You must be the dumbest person on the planet if you don't like blueberry pancakes. I hate you, and I hope your entire family that you're having dinner with die." And it's like, why? Why? Like, there'd be no reason for me to do that. So why would people be doing that online? Like, people online should just be a place for people to be like, "Oh, I had this opinion." It's like, you don't have to agree with it, but you don't have to hate another person for having an opinion. But also at the same time, you can't just throw out the most insane crap online without expecting people to be like, "That's the most insane crap I've heard."
Yeah.
Like, that if you say that in public, people will be like, you're
kind of crazy.
Like, people are going to approach you and oppose you for saying such things. So why would it be different online? Why would you? I guess what I'm trying to get down to is, why would you expect people to act like, people shouldn't act differently towards people just because they're online? Like,
it's so weird.
The idea for the internet should be that we just are more connected.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being like, now I have a proverbial wall between us that you literally cannot harm me through. And I can say whatever I want to you without any repercussions.
Weirdly enough, so I remember having a conversation with Jarrett. I was getting story details across. We were like, we're a little bit of authors and artists ourselves. So we're just talking about our story ideas. And I'm talking about my main villain to him, and at one point he gives me a good idea about apathy. Like, Jared, I won't lie, as much as socially awkward as he can be, if he's in a room with motherfuckers he knows, motherfucker can spit some bars.
I have always held this in my mind that Jarrett probably was the smartest person in our entire group.
Yeah, he's genuinely, he got some good philosophy. Like, when me and him start talking about philosophy, I'm like, damn, we're cooking here. But like, he was like, yeah, man, it's kind of weird how like we were talking about 7 deadly sins. It was like, we were talking about villains and stuff, and I was getting inspired to do some things with my story. And at one point it's like, yeah, some people think about the 8th sin. I'm like, there's an 8th one? We got an update? And he's like apathy. And I Googled it. I'm like, oh my God. And then Jarrett starts going on this whole thing about like, people nowadays, at least mostly in America, are apathetic. What did he use in specific? It's like, so many people are contempt because they just have things in front of them. And Jarrett's
contempt or content?
I think he used both at some points. I think he might have fucked up on the wording, but like, people just have porn, drugs, and food in front of them. Yeah. And they're just like so like apathetic towards everything else because like, my needs are fulfilled. I don't need to do anything else. So I can just be an asshole. And I'm like, oh my God, Jarrett opened my eyes. Like, ever since we had that conversation, I start looking at things and I go, am I an asshole? I don't want to eat this. Or like, I think I just need to just sit by myself. I've been doing that as of late. I'll just sit in my room and just be like, am I understimulated now? Overstimulated? I don't know what I'm doing. And I just sit there and it's just like, and I start thinking about like other people, how like they're not self-aware. And weirdly enough, ever since then, I've been like starting to pick at my own psychology and IQ tests. And it's weird. It was just, I just been having this weird like self-reflection, looking at myself and stuff. And it's just like, I don't think I'm that special. I took an IQ test before. I think I have an above average IQ, but I'm like, most people are not average and are probably significantly below that. And I'm just like, I know I get ridiculed by people that actually probably think I'm actually dumb, but like at some points I'm like, I think I'm pretty normal, and I think those people are just being assholes. When I see people just being like, absolutely, this isn't not talking about video games anymore. This is basic real life, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not that dumb. Yeah. And I'm self-aware not to do that. And it's like, it can just be anything. And I'm just like, do you not realize like your words carry weight, the harm you do? I think Dune for that, because Dune showed me like there's a metaphor within one of the powers. It's called the voice. I think I've explained it before. And it's just like, oh my God, it's true. Words do have weight. Our language actually has a significant, effect on people on a grander scale than I think regular people know. Right, Angie? She agrees with me.
She's just mad.
Yeah. She actually is mad. She's experiencing
experiencing the deadly sin of wrath.
Yes, rage. But it's just, I'm like, fuck, man. Like the internet, I don't know. Maybe I've been like weirdly like interested in psychology and the internet for a while now. Ever since I've been introduced to like late stage capitalism, ever since I started diving in to that, technically there's a bit of politics behind it, like late stage capitalism and politics and like the inner workings of that. I'm like, dude, I kind of low key want to write a book of just about like the internet and its effects on people. Like it's like I would love to read that, and there's a part of me that's just be like, I want to write a fucking book on this.
At some point, they probably will have a study done to write a book on that, because right now we're still in the early stages of that.
Yeah,
like it's like the effects of the Cold War. You didn't really. We still probably don't know the full ramifications of that.
We're aware of it now, but
we're aware. So it's like with the internet, we're barely becoming aware of like what's happened with like the Wild West that it was for the longest time.
It still kind of is, because there's little to no regulation. There's none.
I'd almost say it's gotten worse.
Yeah,
like the regulations have actively gone down. I think we've seen through Twitter that regulations have gone down. Like. And Twitch too. You've seen what's been going on with Twitch. They legitimately just do not care about their platform. They're just letting people do whatever they want.
And you still get DMCA'd for fucking music, bro.
That is the most insane thing too. Like how does that even make sense? You play like 5 seconds of a song and you're basically gonna get sued and lose all of your
money,
everything that you own. But like.
You can black some. You can just show some titties with the black bar and it's fine.
Basically show porn on Twitch to children and be fine.
Softest core, like hardest, softest core porn ever.
It's borderline just porn.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say borderline at this point.
You can edge to it.
It just is.
You can. It's just, I want to make that book so bad.
I guess kind of goes back to what Jarrett said, which Matt, I wasn't even aware of what you're going to say that he said, and he's saying that he's a genius. He's truly a genius, because the 8th deadly sin being apathy is very true.
People just stopped caring.
People don't, you can see, people do not care about their fellow humans.
I've now just thought of a good villain. Oh my God.
It's crazy to me, because I've said this before. I don't think I'm a good person. But I think genuinely because why people think I am good
is there's worse people.
Is I actually do care about other people. Like when I look at a person and like see like their life, I'm like, I wonder if they're doing okay. Or like even when I think about my friends a lot of the time that I haven't seen for a while, like Jarrett. I just talked to him the other day because I was like, I wonder how Jarrett's doing. I was like,
he's becoming a lawyer.
Yeah, he told me. That's pretty cool. Good. But like, it's stuff like that. I just like will randomly think of my friends. I'm like, I wonder how they're doing. I hope they're doing okay. I'm happy that I know this person.
Yeah,
I'm happy I know that person.
I like Bowlby.
It's Colby's here.
He's been in the background.
But it's like it's crazy to me that some people don't feel that way. They genuinely do not care about other people. Like if somebody were to get shot in front of them, they would have no care in the world.
You would react, but then you would be like, phone.
Oh well.
And I know that's a boomer thing, but like almost in a fucked up way, there might be a chance I'd do that. Phone.
I think that'd be the last thing on my mind though, which is I think that's crazy, because in my mind, if I saw somebody get shot in front of me, my first response would to be like check on the person to see if they're like if there's any chance to save them, and or try to get the person who shot them, and or make sure that other people don't get harmed.
Yeah. Hold on, let me document this for the court real quick.
The very last thing on my mind is to pull out my phone to share what's going
Andrew's
on.
Angry.
Like I'm in the moment. I'm like, oh shoot. Or even at the very least, I save myself.
Yeah, that's how I hesitated, because like me in my mind is be like, hold on, I can help this person. Let me document. But then like my first thought is, flight or fight, baby.
Because like there's a million other things that I'd rather do than like just have absolutely no care that somebody died in front of me. Yeah. Like my first thought is somebody died in front of me. I need to either help the situation or remove myself from it to help others who are in that situation have an easier time.
Yeah. It's just, and now that I think about it, I don't even know how you'd make that book. Like, where do you even start?
There's a lot of like psychological research that needs to be done still for people to even know. Cause like we're barely seeing now with the Gen Alpha and like Cassius's generation, how we're seeing like the internet's like starting to affect how they developed into older humans. So once we see like Cassius become an adult and like how his peers act as adults, we won't truly know.
The shit he was saying though was wild.
It's crazy because like
it just proves the apathetic part.
Because us as kids, like when we were his age, we still like
Coral leaks, baby. Let's
fine, go. Like, but it seems like those kids like have no morals. Like genuinely, I mean this in every possible way. He has described his peers of having no morals whatsoever. Like they don't care about each other.
And that's not us being boomers. That was
out of his own mouth.
It's on video.
The child himself told us that this is what he's seen. This is an observation.
Like and it's. Bro, I would help in that book's creation or something. I would give like the Discord screenshots. I would love to partake in that study.
Do you think if they made a documentary out of this kind of thing that this podcast would be featured in that?
I would hope so. I would gladly. I think both of us would.
If they interviewed us for that,
I have a YouTube channel. I've seen it all.
I'd feel honored to be part of some sort of psychological study
on the internet. Oh my god, like, I would love it.
It's like we've seen a lot, and we understand.
I'm burdened by this information.
Like the things I've seen on Twitter since Elon's taken over is like, I don't even know if I want to share half the stuff I've seen.
That's the interesting thing about it. It's like, everybody knows about that one video that got spread on emails, not DMs, emails. And it's just like everybody knows about it, and it's like it's ingrained in the culture. It's a cultural phenomenon to its the least degree. I'll say it. I don't want to say the highest degree, but fuck, man, I'd love to be part of that psychological experiment. I know I don't have a lot of things to talk about psychology wise, but if I could provide the info and then somebody else can break it down, I'd be glad to.
For sure.
Full-heartedly,
or even just to share our opinions on it. Just to be like, this is what we've seen. This is why we think it happened. And you show the math to see if that's right.
I'd give them full access to my comment section and the shit I have seen, the shit I have heard. Because, like, the whole disconnect thing, a lot of people don't think it exists. I think older people, I think this is the thing. I think our generation, late millennials, early Zoomers know of it. Yeah. They know of it and are aware of it.
And we're like, this is a problem.
Yes.
There's problems here. Look at the people who are coming after us. There's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
This is what happened. Like, what Cash has told us is the direct result of an unregulated internet that, like, people have no care to change.
Yeah. And like the apathy, like the older generation has now become because of like how the internet, like, how do I say this? How it affects us and adults, I guess we are adults, I guess young adults and adults, is now that we're overstimulated, we're apathetic, we just don't like to do anything. Drugs, sex, and porn. What Jared said is correct.
Like,
and then how it affects kids is now they can't socialize. They need the screen, and it's just like, oh no,
what have we done?
Because with me, I knew as a kid, because I'm self-aware. I'm so happy my brain specced into the self-aware tree, because as a kid, I think I had that problem. I got introduced to the internet at a young age, and I just shut down. And now as an adult, I go, I think I have a lot of catching up to do. And I'm going to work on it, but it's like, fuck, I see with everybody else who doesn't have the self-aware click, and it's a problem. It's a major problem.
That was what was weird with me as a kid, too, is when I look back, I really did not spend as much time with technology as I've seen a lot of kids now do.
Oh, yeah.
I always had the TV on, but most of the time I was doing something other than watching TV with the TV just on in the background.
The internet is so much worse than the TV.
I had full access to a computer. We've always had a family computer, and I just truly did not use it. I had other things that I wanted to do. Like, even when I had full access to the technology, what I'm saying is I still had the desire to seek out more than just what the screen showed me. And I think in part that's to do with people who were raising me, taught me that there's other stuff outside of that to do. Like if you don't show the children that there's options, they're just going to take the one option.
Yeah.
And if you just keep fueling that, then you're creating a pit that it's going to be very hard to get out of.
Yes.
Because like the iPad kids were only given an iPad growing up to entertain themselves.
I'm giving my kids crayons.
And now it's just developed into, since they had free access to an iPad from the time they were 2 to now they have free access to their phone whenever they want with their peers. There's no stopping what they can see and what they will say.
Yeah. But this is my favorite part about the whole what the internet has done to the psychology of humans is the gender thing. Not the gay thing. No. In specific, how it affects like male and female. Like the propaganda thing. That's a complete different subject about that book. But like how women and men, after being on the internet so long, what happens to them? Because my favorite thing, and I don't know, maybe this is the Mexican man in me, loving to hear the cheese man, but the way that girls just like act and are just like, oh my God, I can't view my body in a certain way. I'm always I'm comparing this and comparing that. And it's just like, girl, what the fuck?
Where did this come from?
Where? Why are you constantly comparing to yourself to a model who starves herself? Why?
In that sense too, like, I think to just summarize it all, I think overall society's just completely screwed with the way that we've just altered our minds to not care about anything.
Like, it's a genuine problem. Like, I know we're young, and we'll see what happens in 20 or 40 years. Maybe we can look back at this. Maybe this is our time capital episode. But like, when I say I love history, I've learned constant things of so many different variety of subjects, of so many different things. But when I genuinely say this, the effects of the internet are going to be so damaging and so crazy. The range of it will be so crazy, it will be unfathomable. I don't think the human mind will be able to comprehend what monster we've unleashed. Like, at first, it
still
was like,
doesn't understand.
It's like, look at this information that we can all help each other with. And then it's become this beast of burden that's affected every single one of us to our core. And even then some.
Like, it's
nothing in the entire, anything in human history is comparable. Nothing. It's literally nothing.
It's truly something that like started off with the best intentions, but as things went on, became so corrupted to the point where you can't even see where those good intentions were meant to go anymore. Because like, it's not possible anymore. There's so much corrupt things happening because of the internet. Morality's gone down. Like, I sound like one of those doomsday
boomers
conservatives online, but it's true. You see it. I've seen it with people that like just everywhere you look, you see the damage that has been done because people just stopped caring. I blame the corporations.
Ever since I got introduced to late stage capitalism and accelerationism, left and right versions of it, if you know what I'm talking about, you know I'm right and this whole conversation's right. It is beyond fucked what we've done to ourselves.
Me and Alex aren't just trying to fearmonger. We're just genuinely concerned with our fellow man.
I'm going to be honest. This is a wild take, and I know it's going to fucking sound crazy, but I'm being honest. In 100 years' time, they will look at me and be like, fuck, he was cooking. I think the internet And what it's done to everybody on a social and individual level is worse than World War I and II.
Oh yeah.
I genuinely think that like those two things in history are so fundamental to so many things nowadays. The only thing that compared to that, if not surpassed that, is the internet itself.
Which is crazy to think about because the like world wars were traumatic and changed society because of the amount of death and destruction that happened. Where the internet's like
it's slow burning.
The death and destruction of like people's souls.
Yeah, it's slow burning.
In a weird way, it's like eroding at the souls of humanity, which is like you get one bad apple ruins the entire batch.
Yeah,
that's what we're seeing the effects of the one bad apple in the batch.
It's
that has infected everything that the internet touched.
It is, and don't get me wrong too. Since I was watching Wendigo, and I'll circle back to this. Like I was seeing his like live stream channel, and like the people he reviews, like the analog horror stuff. And I watched some of this stuff, and I won't lie, some of it's inspiring because there's a lot of concepts like that show up, and I'm like, whoa, how did this creator think of what I thought independently? That's fucking neat. And I watch how he did it and how this analog horror creator was able to like lay it out because he's talking to them guys in VC while he's watching their shit. I'm like, wow, man, the internet is so cool. And then I go to Twitter or look at like leaks or 4chan and how people react and like the genuine like history of what's happened in the last, how long has the internet been around? 20 years, 30 years?
More than 20. Definitely around 30.
It's not even half a century old.
No.
Remember the part where I said we wouldn't see the effects or really know anything forever? It's only been, I think, less than 40 years. I think it's coming up on 40.
Yeah.
Closer to 50. And we haven't even like, I don't think we've had
barely scratched the surface of like, because like it wasn't until the 90s that it got like big. So now we're barely seeing like the ramifications of like the intense like takeover that it's had on society.
I'm trying to comprehend it now. Like, oh my fucking God. Like, I'd say 2.5 generations of people have been, I wouldn't say ruined. I think that's a wrong word, but have been, what's the irremancerably? What's the word? I can't pronounce it. Insurmountably have been changed and may not be for the better. If anything, it is leaning towards the worst.
Unless they have a huge turnaround by the time they turn 18.
Yeah,
the future's not looking too great.
Yeah, I feel like. Fuck me, dog.
Well,
I'm watching that damn Unabomber video, and I'm just like, fuck, was he? He was a terrible person, but fuck, was he cooking?
He's kind of right.
Son of a bitch, dude.
I'm gonna change tracks a little bit here, just
Please,
so we don't end off on a sad note. Alex, Father, I have sinned.
What have you done,
Alex? I'm hooked on Fortnite.
Okay.
Specifically the rock band mode on Fortnite.
Hey,
I can't help. Every night I'm like, I could be doing something productive, but then I start hearing Suddenly I See
Bad Romance.
I start hearing that song in my brain and I'm like, man, I want to play some of that Fortnite rock band, and I just immediately get on, tell Colby and my nephew, we make our band, start playing, and now I'm obsessed. I want to get Gangnam Style.
The children yearn for Guitar Hero 6.
Dude, I honestly would love if Xbox or just some company just started making those guitar controllers again, because that would make it so much more
ultra
fun.
Expensive now.
Yeah, so we have some of those guitars in our garage, but to play on the modern consoles you need an adapter that costs $500. Costs a whole console just to get an adapter
Maximilian
to play one game, and I'm like, you'd think they'd just make these again. Like they'd be making money. Yeah. If they produce those right now, the amount of people who'd buy them and if they made more music rhythm games, that would be so successful.
Yeah. It's fuck, man.
Dude, I'm hooked though. I'm genuinely hooked.
You just want to play guitar here. That's fine.
I really do. Like
that Twin Towers text you sent me. This is real. You sent me was insane.
Okay, so let me explain to everybody.
That was actually, I didn't react to it. I don't think too hard. I read it. I went, huh? And I just went back to playing Halo.
So me, Colby, and Cassius decided to start playing the Lego mode on Fortnite, and I chose the free build, just make whatever we wanted in Lego, because I was like, I don't feel like doing the Lego campaign. I just want to play with Legos on Fortnite. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're doing. I spent a good amount of time doing one of the instruction ones, making a Japanese temple, and then Colby builds the Twin Towers next to my Japanese temple. And I was like, Colby, why'd you do this? And he's just like, it's funny. He's been seeing it online. People just making the Twin Towers in Fortnite. So he just made the Twin Towers. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to blow them up. So I set explosives all around the base of the two towers. And I kid you not, when we lit those explosives, the way that the towers collapsed from the explosives was almost frame for frame the exact same way it falls in any video that you see of
I think I know you
9/11.
well enough. You saw that happen and you Googled them falling down. Please.
I did not.
You did not.
You
just remember Tower 1 going
I know,
and then Tower 2 going.
Me and Colby know how that looked. I think we've seen enough 9/11 memorials throughout our schooling to remember exactly how that looks.
That's crazy.
When the tower has that moment where it collapses, just falls like.
Yeah.
That's ingrained in my brain. So when I saw that happen in Fortnite, I was like, oh my gosh. Like it clicked for me and Colby at the exact same time when we saw that. We're like, that was way too similar to how it.
I don't want to play the game no more.
We're like, I was like, jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Oh no.
Oh, you know what?
Not to encourage people. I was like,
you got encouraged, you fuck. Or your brother did.
What was funny too is we're like this week on Mythbusters, the boys try to see if bombs placed underneath the Twin Towers would actually have made them collapse the way they did. And lo and behold, our Mythbusters test actually proved that it's entirely plausible for there
in
to
Lego
have been,
Fortnite.
Lego Fortnite might have proved a lot of conspiracies correct.
So I want to say this, because while that is funny, I think this is showing something about the internet. And I know I keep on bringing it back up, philosophy. I'm bringing it up constantly on this fucking podcast. Me and the goddamn internet.
I know where you're going with this.
But a tragedy of that scale. And we constantly joke about it.
And me and Colby, I was actually brought that up with Colby too when we were playing. I was like, it's crazy the amount of jokes we make about 9/11, and that's like a massive tragedy.
Yeah.
But you never see any jokes about like Pearl Harbor.
Nothing.
There's nothing on Pearl Harbor.
Nothing on Pearl Harbor.
And you'd think that would be one that at this point would get jokes because it was less traumatic. And happened a lot longer ago than 9/11. Like there's still people to this day, a lot of people to this day who had people affected by that. Pete Davidson's dad died because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
His dad was a firefighter in New York and died in the attacks.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So the fact that we make jokes relentlessly on the memorial of that day is kind of insane. If you shouldn't even have to think hard about that. It's insane that we're making jokes about. It was insane that we're making jokes about people who were actually dying at the moment of the submarine getting lost. People were joking about that as that was happening.
I know people hate billionaires, but it's like it's still a person.
There's still a person down there. There's a literal boy down there.
No. Fucking Jarrett called it, bro. Nobody empathy,
cares
bro.
anymore.
Everybody's apathetic. The internet has ruined
This
things.
is supposed to end funny on my Fortnite addiction, but
No,
it just circled back.
It's not, because like nobody jokes about World War One. Everybody, it's World War Two. I remember the beaches of Normandy. I saw men gored to death. 9/11. Hey Buzz, we missed the truck. I'm not aiming for the truck. Meow.
It's like, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we like this as a society?
It will be unknown, just like how the stock market crashed. The man or whoever took out their money and the stock market people and the banks went, fuck, we can't give that to you. Is the equivalent to the guy who did the first, probably not, he didn't intend for it, the first fucky wucky to cause the internet to fucking spiral it into. I want to see that if I could ever become a fourth dimensional being. I want to, or no, what dimension would I have to? Sixth dimensional being. I think it's that one, if I remember my scaling correctly. To where I can see all timelines and see the timeline in which the internet was properly used. Where it was actually intended for its, what was the divide? I want to see the divide.
What was the canon event that led us down this path?
I want to see it. I genuinely want to see it, and I think if I ever do or ever could get close enough to seeing it, I think I would have closure. I think I could die a man and just be like, good. I know what happened. Yeah. I know what happened.
So there's your lesson for today. The society is falling apart.
We're cooked.
And you can accurately recreate 9/11 in Fortnite. That eerily similar.
Also, RIP
to the actual event.
Pete Davidson's dead.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So yeah.
At least that apathetic.
I think that's the end of this episode. What a way to start off 2024 with this episode saying, man, we're screwed.
We're cooked.
At least Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 comes out this year. And Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door remake, baby. I'm ready. I'm hype. That's going to be my favorite game to come out next year. I already know.
I think I'm radicalized.
I'm ready. Alex, at some point you just gotta do what you can.
I'm swimming the opposite direction. I don't want to follow the current anymore.
You just gotta do what you can. Alex being Alex is that shrimp.
I'm one in a trillion, damn it.
I'm one in a trillion.
I don't want to do this.
Oh man. Does that make me happy feet?
You're autistic?
Maybe.
Is that? Hold on. We'll leave it on a happy note. Is he supposed to be an allegory for autism or something? Or was I completely, or like disabled people?
I don't think so.
Because that's what I got when I was a younger kid. I hope I got the message correctly.
I think its message can be taken I think it's just.
That's a good movie.
To
Penguinos.
Reject the status norms. Because he just wanted to dance. But the rest of his society just wanted to be
weirdos,
stoic all the time.
Yeah,
but he wanted to be happy. When he broke from the status norm, it made life better.
Kawasaki,
yeah,
Kago, Grico.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Penguins of Madagascar?
No, Happy Feet. I haven't seen Penguins of Madagascar in a while either, but not as long.
Yeah, I want to watch both those movies.
I want to rewatch every DreamWorks movie.
Rank them.
Future episode. Mariah's actually been wanting to do that, so she'll be on that episode. But anyway.
Kawasaki.
Alex, what are your final words to greet the people into 2024?
Please, for the love of God, be more self-aware. I am begging you. It's the simple step of just being like, maybe I shouldn't eat this bagel this morning. I've had enough. It's that simple. I beg of you.
Wise words. Just love your fellow man.
Yeah, that too.
And love us by liking, commenting, and subscribing. All three. You need to do all three. If you don't do all three, you don't love us. You hate us.
Yeah.
Share the podcast. You can do that just for fun, not because you love us or hate us.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's it for this week's episode. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.